Hi, I'm Elizabeth Barnes. I'm Senior Marketing Manager at Intel Corporation. I'm here with Lynn and Matt.
I'm Lynn Comp. I'm the head of sales for Intel's AI Center of Excellence.
Hi, I'm Matt Valentine. I'm the head of the compute business unit for the HPE UK EMEA region.
Great. From your perspective, what are the most pressing business problems that enterprises are looking to solve with AI right now? Lynn?
So first of all, a lot of business enterprises have been wrestling their data problem for many, many years. And so what AI allows them to do are a couple areas in terms of updating their data platforms, really improving the results from some properties that they don't get the chance to really look into. And what they're also doing is they're finding ways that they can take legacy systems and then use AI to upgrade them into things that are more modern and a little bit more relatable to today's programmers.
Okay. Matt?
Yeah, so from my perspective, I think most customers are looking to try and find value from the use of AI. And I think that for different businesses, it alters. I think we see a lot of similarities between verticals, industry vertical use cases become like an ecosystem. But I think the challenges are the same. So people are looking at data, they're looking at how they find value from their data and how they implement the outcomes. Some of the issues that are coming up, power and cooling, that's a really popular one for us to discuss in more depth.
Good. The journey from AI model training to scalable inference requires distinct infrastructure and requirements and investments. So how are HPE and Intel helping customers address that, especially optimization challenges, specifically when they're moving from pilot programs to full AI deployments? So Matt, let me start with you.
Yeah, okay, so I think that when people are developing, typically we're seeing companies exploring whether they can build their own developer platform or maybe they start in the public cloud. What we then tend to find is that when people have proven the concept of their software, for example, that they're looking for a permanent solution to where they run that. And then what we're seeing is that, you're looking at very different needs. So there's 3 different reference architectures that you'll need depending on what your use case is. And not many people will be training large language models. Most people in enterprises will be looking for the use cases from agentic AI or AI inferencing.
Emily?
Well, I think one of the most important things that Intel and HPE with the Gen 12 ProLiant solution, there's so many customers that they have to abide by data governance. They have to think about data security, and they need to think about how do I get started with the data that I have, where I have it right now. And so those kinds of security capabilities, the manageability capabilities that we've collaborated with HPE on over decades have been even more critical with AI.
Okay, that's it. So beyond raw compute power, what emerging innovations are you most excited about for delivering the next generation of enterprise AI to our customers?
So for me, the Gen 12 launch has been what we've all been waiting for. So I think it's a renaissance in terms of the technology solutions we've got. So cost optimization, so the sustainability benefits of Gen 12 are significant. We see stats like 26x more efficient than Gen 10, which might be a common generation for people to replace. But you talked about security, such an important part of things, making sure that we can lock that right down with the Gen 12 technologies. So look no further than Gen 12. Come talk to us about it.
Yeah. I think one of the other things that I find really exciting is something like agentic AI. It effectively mix and matches what you can use to take advantage of AI with the data that you have in place. And it also means that the rock star in an enterprise AI solution is going to be your data with the Gen 12 ProLiant server and combining different kinds of models and different kinds of workflows.
Yeah, absolutely. So beyond the hardware, so how crucial is having a tightly integrated open ecosystem to accelerate adoption to realize value with AI? So let me start with you.
So one of the things that's really interesting with the AI ecosystem is how fast people want to move from POCs to pilot to scale. And so what's really critical with the open ecosystem is they want to be able to move quickly with integrated solutions, so there's a time to market, but at the same time, they have lots of areas where they need choice, and they need to be able to have an ecosystem of vendors for different solutions, especially if they're a global multinational.
Yeah, that's really important. So I think none of us can do this alone. the role of ecosystems is essential. I think one of the key initiatives that we're working on together with Intel is around how we bring, for example, software providers come to our customer experience centers. Let's take a look at a container of your software, see how that operates, and then let's get some proof of value from that data. I think so. Build that ecosystem together, invite our partners to come and join and be part of that, and enjoy the benefits of each other's innovations.
Yeah, absolutely. So the enterprise technology market is really becoming increasingly competitive. So how do you see Intel and HPE adapting together in this evolving landscape? And how can you help our customers succeed in AI? So let me start with you, Lynn.
So Intel and HPE have been long time collaborators and really do care about the solutions that the broad enterprise needs to have in place, but also servicing what they need to put in place and then retain and keep into their life cycle for a very long period of time. So I think that it's just an ongoing extension, I would say, of the collaboration that we've done over the years.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, IT has been hybrid for over 10 years now. And so the role of hyperscalers, new market entrants, open source, it's all there. And again, it's part of the ecosystem. I think, what HPE and Intel have offered over the years remains consistent. We bring the best in the industry to the problems that customers are facing in the industry. And you can always rely on the consistency that we're going to offer in our combined solutions.
Very true, very true. So if you have one piece of advice for enterprises looking to invest in the infrastructure for AI, what would that be? Matt?
One piece of advice, don't try and go it alone. Speak to the people you need. Start with finding proof of value in your data to truly elevate your business's performance.
Wow. So I would say also, building on what Matt just said, I think it's really important to start out by having a few use cases that give you flexibility in terms of which models are underneath it, because they're being updated all the time. And at the same time, they should really think about the way in which it's going to move forward in their enterprises. And the last thing that I will say that I think is really critical, good AI results comes from good data. So start with your data and really start thinking about the governance and the security and the modernization of that.
Very good. All right. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Matt. Really appreciate you joining us today.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.